to watching.
Welcome, everybody. Submission Fishing Live. Glad you can make it. If you're watching live or watching the recording, thank you so much. Eric, what's going on out there? Ooh, Jessica and Eric, big crowd today. Glad you guys are here. So what's new? You're gonna go, Eric? Where are you gonna fish today, or not today? Saturday. I guess that is the question. I want to know your spot since you had your best week ever. I got to find out where that was. I need your secrets now. Leonard, what's going on, man? Oos, welcome. Give it a few minutes, wait for some people to roll in here. Yeah, good day, man. It was hot. At least it was getting hot. It's been a pretty mild summer, though, I think, at least. You know, it's already August, already late summer. It was pretty good. I feel like the last couple of years it's been ridiculously hot during July, but I think we've been lucking out this summer. So if it heats up the last couple of weeks, it's okay. Looks like the yellowtail coming in. Alex, what's going on, man? Welcome. Ingram Bridge, that's the place. Salty, what's going on, man? Welcome. Oos, welcome to the show. Yeah, I guess that was a hot ticket. I'm curious to where you fished. You have to give me that inside info later. Joining that losers club with me down in Mission Bay. And Danny put the hurt on those fish. That's crazy. It is pretty humid. It's humid like Florida. But yeah, let's see if we got any news. Nothing real newsworthy. There was, unfortunately, there was like somebody passed away in Mission Bay, like a scuba diver or something like that, a couple days ago. So just a reminder, you know, when we're out there on the water, you can't take anything for granted. It's like, so be careful. Realize you're on the water. Wear your life jackets. Make sure you got a plan. Let somebody know, or make sure somebody knows where you're going. I think this person they let somebody know, and they didn't show up, and then they were able to at least recover him, and you couldn't resuscitate him or anything. So that's kind of tragic. So just remember that, guys. Stay safe out there and wear your safety gear, and just remember Mother Nature. She'll take you out if you're not careful. I don't know really the details of it. I just saw it, you know, a couple days ago out in Mission Bay. So that's pretty sad. So stay safe out there, guys. Just a reminder. Anytime you go out there, you're taking a risk. Let's see what other news. Looks like just looking at the fish counts, we could take a look at it real quick. Looks like yellowtail is the ticket right now. You got Fisherman's Landing. Looks like the half-day boats are still going for rockfish. That's pretty normal. 29 anglers, 29 sand bass. The dolphin, 35 anglers, 100 calico bass release. But it looks like these full days, I mean, 10 anglers, 11 yellowtail, 2 dorado. That's pretty good. The grande, full day, 37 anglers, 73 yellowtail, 5 dorado, 3 bonito. And then that's really good. Day and a half, 14 anglers, 19 yellowtail. So it looks like the overnights are still getting the bluefin. Looks like 34 anglers, 41 bluefin, 15 yellowfin tuna. Yeah, those overnights are doing really well. But it looks like those day trips, the yellowtail's back. I think that bluefin, they were still boiling out there. If you guys saw my last video, you know that. But
Yak Mob, Zach Riggs.
What's going on, Zach Riggs? Welcome. Yak Mob, welcome, man. Captain Adobo, going for that championship, man. I'm excited to see you fish this weekend. You should have got your package by now. Thanks for your order. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Down in SD, my man. Let's see what else we got here. C4 Sport Fishing, 20 anglers. And well, that was a 2-day trip. 20 anglers, 55 bluefin. So it looks like it's picking up. I think yellowtail is kind of the answer. And then I'm seeing the dorado in here too. So we had a full day on the San Diego. 34 anglers, 24 yellowtail, 19 dorado. I mean, that's a good day. It is a good day. It looks like the water's warming up a little bit, and they're bringing in those yellowtail and then the dorado. I haven't seen the it's like we haven't seen the bonito all year. I mean, we got down on them earlier this year. We went down to Mexico, but aside from that, not too much. It looks like they're starting to pop up now. They usually come in with the dorado. It looks like the dorado and yellowfin. So hopefully we get on them. I got my trip coming up in a couple weeks, so taking a lot of people, not a bunch of real experienced guys. So I hope we just get on the fish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care so much if we're just catching. I don't necessarily need to go out and catch bluefin on this trip, as long as there's a lot of fish. Even if there's no yellowfin or dorado, I just want people catching something. I mean, these guys, they get hyped about bonito or even rockfish. If you've never fished before, they just happy for anything that comes up. So hopefully the fish are popping off, even if it's not the big game. So yeah, anyways, this weekend, if you guys didn't watch my new video, I just put it out, went out to Carlsbad. I haven't seen many videos on Carlsbad. I know we as a group have never fished out there. It was pretty fun. It was a good adventure. We went out. I just launched off the surf. Got there at 5:30, per usual, like we do when we get to La Jolla or anywhere else. Just loaded up. But there's not really parking. You just have to park off the highway. It's on the 101. So there's a lot of parking, but it's just really long. There's not side streets or anything like that. So you only get that lane that's like parallel to the sea. And that's about it. There's not a lot of side streets or anything. So you got to get there early. I got there at like 5:30. There was no one there. And I was able to park where there was like a fire, no parking zone behind me, so I can unload my kayak and unload it. Yeah, it was good. Went out. The surf was pretty big. Of course, like anything it said, it wasn't, significant waves were 3 feet. And then the normal or everyday waves were like 1 foot, foot and a half. I think they were closer to like 2 feet. Intervals were probably like 7 seconds or so. It was pretty good. We still made it out there. Got beat up, got like 3 waves right in the chest. It was pretty hairy. It was definitely the biggest surf launch I've ever been in for sure. But once we hit the brakes, the brakes and the waves, just paddled out, man, and made it out. If you guys go watch the video, go see the adventure. I lost my wheels, so they weren't tied down properly. And my wheels came off. And unbeknownst to me, I mean, I went over, I think it was like that 3rd wave I hit, just totally took them off my kayak. And I didn't know. And there was some surfer there. Luckily, was there at the same time. And he was watching me launch, probably like, what's this guy doing out here? And he was like yelling at me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, what's up, dude? What's going on? Yeah, surf's up. He's like, no, bro, your wheels came off. Like, you need to like look behind you. And I turned around and there was my $300 Hobie wheels just floating back to the beach. And it was pretty crazy. And then he went and got him for me. His name's Ralph. I don't know the guy. I'd never met him before. But the fact that dude went out of his way, I mean, he paddled out there and it wasn't easy. He went like all the way to the beach and he paddled out with the wheels on him. And I fast forwarded the video. At first I didn't have it edited, but it took this guy like a long time, a couple minutes. I mean, he was struggling. So shout out to Ralph. If you ever come across this channel, dude, you're the man, for bringing my wheels. Not only that, you saved me the wheels because I don't think I would have noticed they were gone. I didn't notice when they fell off. I would have gone out. I don't really check for them when you're out there. How often do you look back and be like, oh, yeah, my wheels are still there? You don't even see them or notice them. I mean, I just envision coming back, imagine landing, and then having the surprise of like, oh, I have no wheels. And I've got 500-pound worth of kayak and gear here. I mean, what do? I would have to drag my kayak up that slope in the sand. I'd probably have to call somebody to come help me carry it up and throw it in, man. It would have been terrible. So, dude, I lucked out. Ralph, you are the man. And I just appreciate you guys out there, anybody out there surfing, kayaking, looking out for each other. That's what it's all about. It's kind of like the code of the sea. When you ever watch those fishing shows like Deadliest Catch or even Wicked Tuna or something like that, it's like whenever you're out in the water, you're always looking out for each other. Even when these guys have beef and differences, when they don't like each other, it's like when somebody needs help, I mean, they help them out. And I see that within our crew too. I've seen you guys tow people back. And O'Brien's like towed Jesse back when he went out in his what do you call that? His float tube, and he went out to the secret spot with us. Yeah, that was crazy. And then Brian towed him back. I know Zach's towed Cal a couple times. Not a couple times. One time, Cal was cramping up. I know Zach hooked him up and towed him back. So that's just cool, guys. It's cool to see. I've been helped by it, so I appreciate that. Now that I've seen it, that guy didn't have to do that. He could have just not said anything and been like, "Oh, look at this moron, lost his wheels." And
you got a surfer watching on Instagram Live too. The Josher got a question.
Oh, the Josher.
He's on Instagram Live.
Nice. What does he say?
He wants to know if you've got a casual, quick grab tackle kit for shore fishing, like the must-haves, and what to leave at home.
Yeah, Joshua's on Instagram Live, so Jessica was reading me that one, and he wants to know if I have a quick grab tackle kit, and yeah, I do. I don't have it with me. I think it's on the counter, but it's like show off my fancy book here. It's like the size of this book, basically. It's pretty small, and I just keep like the basics in it. I carry one rod, maybe two, usually a light spinning, and then possibly a bait caster. But I just have things like this, little Ned rigs in there. I have some little micro shore jigs. But yeah, it's always ready to go. It's like stuff that I have set aside from there, so I don't take it out of like other tackle boxes or my tackle boxes or my van. It stays there, and I can throw it in a backpack like quick. So when I just want to go hit the surf real quick or the bays, I throw it in, it's ready to go. So like kind of allocate its own thing, so you're not digging through, your huge, and my tackle box is massive. I mean, I carry everything in there. So yeah, I've got its own thing. It's like I bought kind of one of everything that I want to take. Yeah, you don't have to find it. Jessica's trying to look for it, but it's small. It's probably like a foot. It's maybe 4 inches deep. So it's probably 12 inches by like maybe 6 inches. Yeah, but just ready to go. That's exactly right. Some hooks, Ned rigs. Like I said, maybe some underspins. Just something I can, and I don't want it heavy either. So when I'm walking around with a backpack, I just keep it light. I got a roll of line so I can tie leaders on real quick. A couple swivels in there. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be carrying, not when you're walking the surf or the bays, because you don't want to stay in one place there either. When it's rough, like when you're shore pounder's hardcore, man. And I did a lot of it before I was doing kayak fishing, but you need to move. And if you're just staying in one place, you're usually not going to get it. So if you got to keep putting on a backpack and walking, or just keep the backpack on the whole time. I mean, like I said, I was walking the surf. Sometimes I go like a mile and a half looking for different spots. So I don't want 25-pound on my back. Yeah, keep it light. But thanks for the question.
Question on telegraph rods.
Hope that answered your thing. The telegraph rods.
Yeah, what's your opinion on
I've never used one. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about like those telescoping ones that come in like they push down, like what do they call those little Chinese yo-yos? I've never used one, so I don't know. They probably work. I mean, anything will really catch fish. It's just some stuff is better than others. When I'm going out from here, I just use one of my
yes, that's what he means.
Yeah, so I don't know. Thanks for the question, but I haven't used them, so I don't want to give you any wrong information. I use travel rods, which are either they pack up and they're 4 pieces, and they usually in a little package like this. But most of the time, I just grab one of my full-size rods. I fish from a van, like my little minivan. You guys have seen it, my Ford Transit. So I can just throw a whole rod in there or 2 rods, and it's not a big deal. But I always recommend keeping a travel rod. I've got a whole set. I've got like 3 travel rods now that you can just pull out. But I don't have any more info on the telescoping. So guys in the chat, if you're on YouTube, definitely chime in if you guys use those telescoping rods. Had any success with them? No success? I'm not sure.
Dave Rage says he has a collapsible spinning reel.
Dave Rage, collapsible spinning reel. How does it work? They work, but they're not as good as your good rods. Right. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Because obviously you'd always use those, right, if they were any good. Sound Fishing, what's going on, man? Oos, welcome. Dude, that was an awesome thing you did for Fishy Hour. That was awesome, that sound bite. Super cool. Oh, your pontoon boat, Jesse. That's what he was in. That wasn't what did I call it? Float tube. Pontoon boat. Is that different? I'm not really sure. Oh, yeah, Zach, you were helped by the group. We were talking about getting help by the group. He was helped by the group and his drive broke. Alex could help answer short questions. Yeah. Alex in here, dude. He's the man. Coach, when he's in here too, they got the shore knowledge. Definitely need a pair of 3D glasses.
Oh, because I have a
You do, Cal. Just for that filter. That's pretty funny.
It looks cool.
You have a small double sidekick Plano and the collapsible spinning reels in the truck at all times. Yeah. That's the way to do it, man, because you never know if you got time. I keep one in our Jeep, or at least I did. I think I got to put it back in there. Our Jeep pickup. like the seat folds up. There's keep like a little spinning reel, or not a spinning reel, a travel reel back there. So you just always grab it. You never know if you're gonna be at a lake. Maybe you got an hour. Somebody wants to visit. It's always good to just get in some fishing for 10, 15 minutes. Jesse's got a question. Do you have a good 1 to 4 ounce reel combo you recommend for a rig and heavier swim baits and such? I think that a lot of the guys use like what was it called, the Bama rod or something. There is a rod made specifically for a rigs. I just use my M1 inshore, or I have a custom. It's actually my jig stick, my one that you see in the like my last video that I used, the one that I'm always using for casting top irons and stuff. I actually just use that because it's pretty heavy, but it's also like super parabolic, so it's weird. It's big and it's heavy, but it's really sensitive and it's got a nice bend to it. But yeah, the M1 inshore works too. I mean, I think it's got a lot of backbone. It's stiff, but it's also sensitive. And my M1 inshore I use for Akuma Komodo SS. I use the 200 size. I think like 273 is what it's called. That thing's beast, dude. I use that for my a lot of my micro jigging for like 20 up to like 40 grams. The other thing, it can throw A rigs. It can do micro jigging, slow pitching. That's like my all around rod. I mean, that thing gets after it. So that combo, and you can cast it too. You can cast heavy swim baits and everything with it. So that's like, it's a heavy duty. That's what it's made. It's an inshore rod, so it's saltwater rated. It's super heavy. It's designed for 1 to 3 ounces. You can get one, I think that's like 2 to 8 or the bigger sizes. The one I have is 1 to 3. So it's a 1 to 3 ounce combo. That's what I use. I think it's great. Eric uses the iRod Bama rod. Yeah, I think that's specifically for A rigs. I think Brian uses it. Salty might have one. I haven't used those, so I don't have experience with it. Just a disclaimer, but I know the guys tend to like them. I think maybe was Adobo talking about it too? I'm not really sure. I feel like somebody asked him and he brought that up as well, but I know that works. Oh, Captain Adobo's right here. Listen, he's answering the question. Oh, he's talking about the telescoping rod. So he says he has an inexpensive casting telescoping bait casting rod. Not too bad. He said he keeps it in the car in case morning traffic is bad. Man, you guys.
Does he fish from the car?
Give you guys the applaud, man. Everybody's got a rod. So telescoping rod is apparently the way to go when you need one in your car. So
Saltwater Slayers on Instagram Live.
Instagram Live, Saltwater Slayer. What's going on, man? Welcome. And so Dave Rage, Captain Adobo, both got the telescoping. So Joshua, I hope that answers your question. They're using them. I know these guys slay. Dave Rage, I don't know. I don't think he caught that huge yellowtail on his telescoping rod, but maybe next time we'll try it. And Captain Adobo still in the mix for the Spotty Bowl Championship. So these guys know what they're doing. They're using the telescoping rod. So yeah, I'd say try it out. I don't think it'll hurt if you want to get one and it fits what you're looking for. Go for it. Captain Adobo says the iRod Bama rod is nice for the A rig, but not for this weekend, Jesse. Not this weekend. Yeah. This weekend you got to use the ultralight 2-pound test, 3 ounce A rig. For those of you guys that don't know, Captain Adobo and Jesse are going head to head. I think it's a semifinal. So Brian and Danny, good luck to all you guys. Should be great. A lot of great fishermen left. Down to the final four. You guys worked your asses off to get there. I'm proud of you guys. Yeah, so Captain Adobo uses the cane pole, Jesse. Just tie up a stick and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, Carlsbad. Back to my Carlsbad trip. I got sidetracked there. If you guys have any questions, yeah, let me know. I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge. So I went out. Surf was kind of crazy. It wasn't too bad. You get beat up, right? You know you're gonna get wet. So I expect that going out. So that way, by the time I get there, it's like it's not a shock to me or a surprise. And there's like nobody out there. There was no kayakers. Some boaters came in later. I saw maybe 2 boats, but really nobody's out there fishing. It's kind of overcast. It was quiet, and I'm making my way to the spot. And now the finger, that deep area, dude, it was like maybe 15, 20 minutes of paddling. It was not far. But on my way there, I don't remember if I put this in the video or not, but I kept seeing like little splashes, like boils, right? I'm like, oh, what is that? Maybe it's a yellowtail. So I'd cast on it. 5 minutes later, I'd see another splash, like out in the distance. cast out on it. And what I had was like it's like a Colt Sniper. It's the Lucky Craft SD Wander. I've been using that. They kill barracuda. It should work for tuna. It's the same kind of thing as a Colt Sniper. It flutters down and then it wobbles when it comes. It's pretty cool. It flutters down and then it wobbles like a top iron almost. When it comes back, it does that kick side to side, but then it flutters down too. So, and I saw another boil, and then like just quick ones, right, where you hear the splash and you kind of see it. So I would just cast on it. And keep in mind, I'm out there just for the deep fishing. I want to go check out that the canyon, since the canyon goes down to, I mean, it goes down quick, 400, 600 feet, and it goes down to like 1,000 feet really fast. Because we're at La Jolla, for example, and we can't fish the canyon. It's part of the MPA. So you go past all this awesome deep ground, 300 feet, 400 feet, and you got to wave it as you go by, as you can't fish it. So this canyon you can fish. So that's what was exciting to me. So I'm out there I'm geared up for rockfish and stuff like that because I'm going to go deep. I've got my heavy, heavy slow pitch jigs on. So I'm paddling out there, just looking for the deep water, and I'm making bait, make mackerel, pull them up. Lots of good bait. Mackerel was everywhere. Bait was everywhere. It was super cool. And then I start I'm hearing the birds, and I'm seeing the splashing and stuff jumping out of the water. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's crazy. There's some dolphins over here. That's literally what I thought was happening. And I'm like, oh, there's some dolphins. And they were kind of a ways out. And then I'm looking, and the birds are going wild, and like I can't really see. So I'm like making my way over there, and I'm seeing like the black thing has come over, and I'm like, oh, it's dolphins. I think I cut that out of the video, but I'm like telling myself I think they're dolphins, and I'm paddling, and then like I saw like 3 of them fly out of the water, and then it hit me, and I was like, dude, these are fish. And it was crazy. And like the video doesn't even do it justice. If you guys seen the video, they go crazy in the video, and it was pretty awesome. But I mean, I started paddling like hell out there, and it was just this massive bluefin boil, and it lasted, I mean, for minutes. It took me probably a couple minutes, just not a couple of minutes, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes just to paddle over there. I'm paddling like hell, and this thing is just boiling and boiling. They're flying out of the water, 5 at a time. They're just full bodies coming out. That's when I knew it was fish. And the only thing I had rigged up was that the SD Wander, the Lucky Craft. So I get on them. I'm like right there. And in the video, you can't really, I mean, I was like 10 feet. The tip of my kayak was like in this boil because I stopped, and they were just like, they were like drifting towards me. I could hear them. Sounded like they were everywhere. The water's just splashing, and it's just like, I'm casting in the boil, reeling in. I'm trying to like stay composed. I'm like reeling steady, cast it in, reeling steady. You know, I'm trying to like just not go wild and then do something crazy. I'm letting it sink a little bit, and it felt like it was going on forever. I mean, I've never seen bluefin boil like this long, especially with somebody right there. I mean, my kayak was basically in it, and they're just jumping around everywhere. I didn't land one, no bluefin to be had, but it's kind of crazy because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't geared up for it. I wasn't going out there like, oh yeah, I'm going to run into bluefin tuna 1 mile off the coast of Carlsbad. But there they were. I was only about a mile out. Nobody else was there. And here I am in this. I'm so glad I got the footage of it to post on YouTube. But yeah, there's nobody out there, which was crazy. So we'll get to more on the bluefin boils later, because I went fishing on a charter boat, bluefin fishing the very next day. So I didn't stay out at Carlsbad that long. So I looked for them. So now I've got the bluefin the bluefin bug, because I'm like, dude, I've seen these bluefin now on a kayak. I'm like, dude, how awesome would that be to land a bluefin on a kayak? So now I start trolling. So I was trolling. I had plenty of heavy gear. So I was trolling I think it was this thing, or a deep diver. This is a Nomad Madscad, and something hit this thing because there was like a boil out in the distance, and my rod, like, you know, where it did that thing where it pulled, it was in the bait holder, and it like jerked real quick. So something definitely came up and like hit it, or took a look at it for sure, but it didn't stick. But after that, yeah, they didn't come around. Right, Dave? Yeah, dude, I should have jumped in there and give him a flying armbar, rear naked choke, just put it out, ripped its gills out. Jean Marie Muto, mom, welcome. Everybody say hi to Mrs. Muto.
The other Mrs. Muto.
The other Mrs. Muto.
Charty Chard is on Instagram Live.
Charty Chard, welcome to Instagram Live. See you on this camera. Welcome. Yeah, dude, but it was man, I it's one of those things like I probably might not ever experience that in my life. It was just right time. I'm glad it happened, even though I didn't get a fish. Like being in a bluefin boil, like literally sitting in it in a kayak was just it was insane. Just the noise, the experience. It was crazy. Yeah, the water was like, so once I got out past, the water was so glassy. It was so calm. It was overcast, dude. It was quiet, so there was nothing else out there, and I just heard the birds going wild, and then just the bluefin lit it up. So, anyways, the bluefin, they dissipated, right? They went away. I didn't find them the rest of the day. I didn't see them the rest of the day. It's my understanding they usually come out later, but I didn't want to stay out that late. I went in at like 1, so I went to the deep. So I finally made it to the finger. It didn't take the finger's what I call it. I don't think that's an official name or anything. It's a part of the trench out there, or the canyon, the Carlsbad Canyon, the deep water canyon. And I got into 400 water like quick. And it's crazy when you're looking on your fish finder, it goes like 90 feet and then it's like 100, 200, 300, 400, and you like just watch it almost go off a cliff. It's kind of eerie because even though you're on the top of the water, like knowing the floor beneath you is just literally taking hundreds of foot dive in a matter of feet. It's pretty wild. I don't know what it is, right? It shouldn't matter whether I'm in 100 feet of water or 500 feet of water in a kayak. You're like, what's the difference? But in your mind, it is different. Like it's crazy being over like that much water, even though I'm just on top. And the depth shouldn't matter, right? I'm not going to swim any better in 500 feet or 100 feet. But yeah, busted out the slow pitch and caught a big ass rockfish. And that's what I was looking for was those huge rockfish that probably haven't been touched. You know, you're seeing these guys catch these little dinks. I probably caught 1 million sculpin. I didn't keep any of them. Those were all tiny. A lot of them were keepers. They were probably like 10 inches, 11 inches, but I was just throwing them back a little too small. Just because they're a lot of work, you got to rip the spines off because they're poisonous and stuff. So I was throwing a lot of those back. But it was awesome getting that big, what is that called? Like the Barcario. I'm going to find that for you. Baraccio rockfish or something like that. I caught a few of those before, but I've never caught something that big out in La Jolla. So I was out in that 400 feet. And this thing took like, the only downside is, but like when you're slow pitching, when you're down there, it's not a big deal because you're just working it. But when I hooked up on this thing, it took like, no lie, 3, maybe 4 minutes of just like constant reeling, like going. I'm like checking my watch, and it's like it takes so long. By the time I got it up, like I was gassed out, like my shoulder was burning. I'm like, gosh dang, that's the only downside when you're going that deep is having to reel it up. Baraccio.
Let me know.
Is that how you pronounce it? Boccaccio?
Was it the red? Let me know when you're ready for some questions or something that you've missed, but we can like do question time.
Just let me know. Yeah, but I caught a monster one of those. Another big sand bass down there. So that was a lot of fun. I only actually fished that area maybe an hour and a half or so. Then I came in at like 1. I started making my way back at 12:30 because I was going on a fishing charter the next day. I didn't want to stay out too much, but yeah, dude, Carlsbad was cool. I think we should make a trip for it sometime. I mean, the bluefin, where else are you going to find bluefin tuna? I think they're still out there. People are still catching them. I don't know in Carlsbad, but yeah, definitely off the coast. That was the fish right there. Got a monster one of those. So anyways, I made my way back. And so for the next day, me and Jessica woke up early, got up at like 4:30 in the morning, up to Davy's locker. And so we get on there, and Rusty, the captain, the freelance, is like, look, we're going to go out. Normally we go to Catalina. He's like, Catalina's been trash. We're going to go fish for some bluefin. And he just let these guys know before we went out. He's like, if you haven't fished this before, I'm just letting you guys know. It's a high risk, high reward. May not get anything. We may get a whole bunch of fish. So we went out. What was funny was we came all the way down to like Encinitas. So I kind of lost track of where we were, but I pulled up my fish app to see where we were. We came like all the way south. We were like in Oceanside and then Encinitas and looking for bluefin, not that far off the coast. And it was the same story where early it wasn't that great, but then towards later in the day, boils like the one I was on in my kayak. Not even as big as that one, but big boils. We saw them in the distance. We went up and we got in about, I think, 4 solid boils. just crazy. And there was some dudes that can fish there too. And it was like a firing line, and no fish. Bluefin would not bite. And I was trying. I mean, I got surface irons in there. I got the Mad Scad in there. I was throwing the irons in there with some live bait there. Yeah, it was crazy. There was 2 fish caught early on live bait, but I think out of like 40 anglers, well, not even that, almost 50, right? 48 people, 2 fish.
I didn't think they were
So,
hooked up.
and those were I think those are the only 2 hooked up. Nobody, there wasn't even like, I don't even think anybody, maybe one other biter, but they weren't even biting. And so when you hear that term, right, like line shy, and you don't really like understand what it is. I mean, I think I've experienced that for sure. And when they're biting different stuff, they just wanted no part of it. I mean, and everybody was throwing everything they had in. I mean, I was slow pitch jigging. So early before the boils, the captain's like, "Hey, these fish are down 100 feet deep." I'm like, "No problem, dude. I got a heavy setup with slow pitch jigs." I mean, I'm slow pitch jigging 100 feet, 40 feet, wherever they were, and just they wouldn't have it. I even put a rubber band on with a live bait, sent that down like 100 feet. Maybe they're biting the live bait. Nothing. Jesse kept getting sand dabs. Yeah, I got a lot of sand dabs too, actually, in Carlsbad, and I kept them. Sand dabs are the bomb. If you guys want to eat sand dab, you just eat them whole, you descale them, cut their belly out, and then cook them up. Sand dabs are legit. So I did keep a couple sand dabs. Yeah, so even the Sunday. So like this weekend, I probably got into like 5 or 6 different bluefin boils. Not a single bluefin bit. But it wasn't just me. So that's why, like, when I went out of my kayak, I was feeling kind of stupid. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't believe I hooked one of those. But I buried that lure like center. I mean, I'm talking, I sniped that thing into that boil like 3 or 4 times, and I was patient with it, and they wouldn't have it. I tried burning it in. They didn't bite. But I think squid is probably the way to go. Wouldn't you say? And nobody's using squid. I think Dave Rage said the thing. So as far as yellowtail, Salty said I should have thrown squid at him. I think I should have. And nobody had squid. Nobody's using squid. Nobody had it. You probably should have used it, because squid is, I mean, that's the go-to for the yellowtail right now. That's been like that for like 2 weeks. So pro tip, if you guys are going out there looking for yellowtail in La Jolla, squid is the way to go. I'm sure they eat squid normally, but you usually hear of the mackerel, right? That's why people are making bait. They make the mackerel and then they fly line that around to get the bite. But Dave Rage just caught one. He's in chat. If you guys have any questions, he caught a huge yellowtail. Dude, that was awesome on squid, right? And I think he used dead squid too. It wasn't even live. And those guys are out there catching live squid and using them. No squid on the charter boats. Didn't have any squid. Yeah, I should have used some fish frosting. I have some squid lures too. I think Jessica, you threw one that actually.
I tried one a few times.
I have this like badass squid lure too.
We'll go get it after we do some questions.
And it looks like a real squid, and it's got like a weight on it and a spinner blade. Dude, this thing is awesome. And she actually threw that down. Was kind of yo-yoing it, the squid, but that didn't get bit. But it was tough, man. Those yellowfin or the bluefin just not to be had. But it's crazy because like a week before, the Captain Rusty, I've been on that dude with his boat like probably 6 times at this point, and he was like, yeah, the other day we get 16. He said, and then yesterday he said it was the same thing. He's like, they went out, they just don't bite. They get in them, they see them, they're boiling, and they want nothing to do with the lures. Which is weird because they're hungry, right? They're out there up on the boils. Maybe trolling was the way, but you can't really, when you're on the sport boat, you can't troll. I mean, you're limited to what you can do. You got to kind of watch out for other people. You can't really troll around. So I think if I had my own boat ready and was trolling, or could like sit on a boil, come up close to it and just cast in like a few more times, I'm sure we would have got one. Oh, Arnie was saying the same thing, right? Him, Captain Dan, and somebody else went out, and he said, yeah, they went on a bluefin watching trip because it was the same story. He said they got in that was yesterday on Fishy Hour. He was saying that they were getting into the bluefin and just nothing. They were all there, just looking. They mock you, right? They see you and they're like, oh yeah, I see you up there, but I'm not going to bite what you have. It's crazy. Dave Rage, dead squid, large chunk, like 1/3 of a squid, full length of the squid. So you weren't even using the full thing. That's crazy. Was you using just like a dropper loop? with like a squid dangling, letting it do its thing. And then near the bottom, or were you like at the top, or do you just like kind of bring it through the water column? Yeah, that's crazy. Match the hatch. There you go, Jesse. What's the hatch? That's the question.
Can we go back and do some questions?
Yeah, we got some questions for you guys.
Okay, so a while ago, Eric asked question, have you ever been run over by a kayak like that before?
Eric, have I ever been run over by a kayak like that before? No, I haven't. If you're referring to the end of my video, right? So you guys go watch my video. So I got off. So when I was landing, this was in Carlsbad. The waves were pretty hairy. And dude, I'm the man, right? I have this perfect launch. I steer it in, pull my drive out, hop out, and I'm carrying my kayak in, no problem. Boom, one, like the wave I'm in kind of goes over and I'm holding it. There was another big ass wave right behind me, and I really wasn't even paying attention. I was just holding my kayak, and what happened was my kayak got turned, and then the wave came in. So I'm already like walking my kayak back. I'm probably like waist deep, and the wave like hit my kayak from the side, and it just took me out, dude. It smashed me. Face planted in the water. I'm surprised my hat stayed on. So I got wasted by this wave. Like after I was freaking already done, I already was landed. I didn't roll or anything. The kayak stayed up. I don't know how. That was a miracle. I was holding on to it the whole time. So it's like you see me in the water. I'm like still trying to hold the kayak up, and it stayed up. All my stuff stayed in there. But yeah, man, I got smashed. I got hammered hard. It was pretty funny. I thought I was like in the clear.
Sound Fishing wants to know, how are you rigging the mackerel, cut or hole?
How am I rigging the mackerel, cut or hole? I do it both. So this weekend, I just cut the mackerel. I cut it across the way, and then I go long ways with it, and you get these nice little strips with the skin. So if I'm doing a rockfish, usually just cut. You do a dropper loop with a weight and then 2 hooks. But a whole mackerel too. Last time I went to La Jolla, I threw one down there, the whole thing, and a sand bass took it. I don't know how. I mean, this sand bass was like not even that much bigger than the mackerel, and he ate the thing. But the cut bait works, so I just cut it up. I catch it and cut it.
Saltwater Slayer, can a Corrado K200 work with an iRod Bama rig for an A-rig setup? Bama rod for an A-rig setup.
Who's that? Saltwater Slayer?
Mm-hmm. Somebody might have answered that already. That was a while ago.
Did you guys answer his question about the can a Corrado K200 work with the iRod Bama rig for an A-rig setup? I don't see why not. I don't own a Corrado, so I don't know. I haven't used one, and I don't own an iRod Bama rig. But I don't see why not. Saltwater Slayer. There's no like definitive rule about what you need to do. You probably might want to go a little bigger on the 200. Actually, you'd probably be fine. I don't think I'd worry about it too much. Like if that's what you have, go for it. If you're gonna buy something specific, go a little heavier, I would say, just because if the rod's too like small, or if it's like on the cheaper end, the Corrado's a higher end reel though, so it's brutal on those gears when you're like just cranking it in all the time. I use the Fathom 15, which is a pretty big reel, and then my Akuma Komodo, which is all stainless steel gearing. You would just want something that's going to be gnarly enough to do a lot of casts and pulling some heavy stuff, because even when you don't have a friggin' fish on it, that A-rig, it's still heavy, and it still puts a lot of stress on the reel. But if that's what you got, dude, it'll work. I wouldn't worry about it.
Jesse wants to know if you carry a first aid kit on your kayak.
Do I carry a first aid kit on my kayak? Yes, I do. In my backpack in the front. So I always carry my backpack in the front, and then hatch it. You can see, like in the video, you always see me like latching it down. I've got like medical tape, first aid kit. Actually, want to grab it from my backpack?
Yeah, I'll go grab it in just a second.
I could actually show you guys the one I use. It's like a small red one.
Sound Fishing says I get nervous in the van. Guys going out there 100 to 400 feet deep.
Yeah, Sound Fishing, you get nervous out there, dude. It's like, right? It's crazy. What's the difference? 50 feet of water and 500 feet of water. Like if you can't get to the shore, it doesn't matter. But it is mentally, it is different for sure. There's a different eeriness about it that changes.
Okay, Dorado was the same yesterday. Found him. Okay, I think you're caught up. Don't forget to talk about the sea thing. So let me go to your first aid kit.
I was grinding in the wave, and I was like, that was so clean. Then boom, dude, I got hammered.
Where's the first aid kit?
It's just in my backpack.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I got smashed by that thing. Oscar PA flipped over Mark last session. I got scared. Dude, yeah, I think Mark, dude, you're the man because I think you said you rolled it last time too. That you keep getting out there. Soon, you're not gonna roll it, dude. You're gonna get it. So that's freaking awesome that you keep going out there. It's the name of the game. Just jump out early, you guys. Bail out. Like Oscar, I think that day we went out. That was a pretty rough landing too. But I think you said you just jumped out and rode it in, right? Like grabbed the back and then just like paddled it in like an old surfboard or something. It gets shallow a lot quicker than you think. So just dive off. If you feel like you're gonna go it's next to this. In the black backpack? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just dive out, man. Don't be worried. It's a lot better than rolling. And the key is you got to keep your boat straight. The second it starts going sideways, you're in trouble. Here's my backpack. So Jesse, this is what I keep in there. It's waterproof first aid kit. And it was open, so that doesn't help. But yeah, the waterproof one. So that's the way to go. That way, if it gets wet or whatever, you don't got to worry about it. It doesn't have much. It's got like burn cream, Band-Aids, first aid kits. This is my other bag that I keep in there. And I've got like this thing too, which is a waterproof. It's a lighter. And it's a flashlight as well, but it's got a, see that? And this thing has a waterproof seal on it too. So if you get stranded, need to light a fire or something, you got this. I got ibuprofen. I keep these in there. Hot hand warmers when it gets cold. You guys just never know. I keep a survival kit in there. This thing's got like a pocket knife and stuff like that in it. Probably some more first aid stuff, some emergency. All that. I got like an extra ID in there, I think. So what else we got in here? And this just always stays in my bag. So I got this with all that stuff in it. And then the first aid kit. And that goes in my backpack. And that backpack I always take with me when I go fishing. So hope that helps. You just never know. I've never had to use any of it. Hope I don't have to, but it's good to have. It's good to have. You just don't know your situation. Leonard, it's not the depth of the water that worries me. It's the distance from the shore that worries me. Yeah, dude, was crazy. Like at Carlsbad, I was not that far. I think a mile, maybe a mile and a half at most. That canyon is really, really close. I mean, I didn't paddle nearly as much as I do when I'm out in La Jolla. Not even close. I just went straight out. The canyon is just like straight and maybe to the south a little bit. But I didn't do nearly as much work. I don't think it's as far. Maybe it's like, you know, when you get past the MPA in La Jolla, that same distance, you're at the canyon already. So it doesn't, it's not a big thing. A lot of times you get past the MPA in La Jolla, then you're like, dude, you still got to go. If you're going to go to the kelp beds, right? You got to take a left, freaking go down to like almost the other MPA by like Pacific Beach. Or if you want to go like rock fishing deep, you got like another mile past the MPA to get the deep stuff. So Carlsbad was cool. I think you guys want to try to go out there with me? I mean, I'm down. I still got a lot of exploring to do, right? I think I just hit the tip of the iceberg with it, but I know for a fact the big fish are out there. Obviously, they're out there. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. For God's sakes, I saw bluefin tuna. I don't think they're going to be there forever. Will I ever see them again? I don't know, but I know yellowtail are taken out there too.
Dan Walsh said that he saw your boat and many others when he was out there with Arnie and George.
You see our boat, Arnie?
Dan Walsh. Scroll back up from here.
He said, I saw your boat and many others while I was there. I was on my boat with Arnie and George. We threw everything we had except the kite. At 6 bluefin schools, got nothing. And that was a story that, yeah, same thing. We were on the freelance. Yeah, we were all there. Dude, everybody was there. Dan, you know, because there was like probably a dozen sport boats. And then there was like everybody was there. So the tuna were freaking out there. and all like the little boats too, like little pilot house boats, the personal boats, Brian's like bay boats, the center consoles. I mean, there was dozens and dozens of boats, and we were hitting the boils just like you said, and just nothing. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. I don't feel like such a failure of a fisherman then. I was like, man, I just cannot get on these bluefin.
Oscar and Dave have advice for you on how to walk your kayak back in.
Oscar and Dave, what do you guys got?
Helps I jumped out and grabbed the rear, let the yak pull me in.
Yeah, it helped. Yeah, you jumped out and grabbed the. So Oscar's saying when he landed, he just jumped out and grabbed the rear and then just took it in. I remember that you were telling us that day. Keep it straight. When I gave with my rudder, gave me a problem in La Jolla. I was a bit worried knowing the time I had to go in the water. Yeah, you gotta be careful. It almost flipped. Yeah, so you guys keep it straight, man. So when you're going, don't like go parallel. So you new guys, don't go parallel and then like decide you're gonna go in, because when the waves are rolling and you're sideways, sometimes it's too late. Once it like picks you up, like it's taking you with it. So when you're approaching the beach, decide where you're gonna go. Go horizontal, go parallel with the beach, and then once you decide, you got to go straight into the beach, because when those waves pick you up from the back, you got to be like perfectly straight. And somebody was saying I keep my rudder down the whole time. I feel like somebody was saying they put rudder up. I don't know if we talked about this. I use my rudder to steer me in the entire way. You don't need to pull it up. You're not going to get that deep. I pull my paddles up, but even when my paddles are up or my fins, I'm still steering with the rudder. So I don't know what you guys do if you use the paddle, but my rudder works and it takes me in straight every time. I steer it as the waves are pushing me in. I don't ride a wave in. I try to go in between, but one always seems to pick me up, and I just ride it with the rudder, and it keeps me straight. Saltwater Slayer. What is a good A-rig reel? Like I said, I use my Fathom 15, Penn Fathom 15. That's probably way bigger than everybody else uses. Or aside from that, I use the I've said it like 100 times. The Akuma Komodo.
You have that link.
Yeah, I think it's linked on my.
It'll be in the show notes.
If you go to my show notes, like after this, I have it in the link. So I have like that Amazon affiliate partnership thing. You can check it out. Just something big, yeah. You go with something a little bigger. Even a 300 size, I would say Saltwater Slayer. If you got the means, we got the means and the money, because you can't go wrong going big on an A-rig reel. Yeah, Leonard uses Lexa 300 again. 300 size for sure. Lexa is great. Anything like that. Tranks, Lexa, Komodo, 300 should be good. Dan Walsh, between San Onofre and Encinitas, 12 to 14 miles offshore. Yep, dude, that's exactly where we were. I was like, hey, that's San Onofre. And then I looked at my thing. I was like, man, we came so far south. Should have just drove here. We drove an hour up there just to come 3 hours south on a boat. But what do? I would have just went at Oceanside. Yeah, they were there, man. They were popping off. It was crazy. Not a lot taken. Saw your attempt. But yeah, I mean, that was my adventurous weekend. Man, super good stuff. No fish. And then this weekend, Eric Lehman uses the Corrado 300, so that seems to be the size there, Saltwater Slayer. We got Alexa 300, Corrado 300. So go 300. I think that's the Zachary Riggs uses the Alexa 300 as well. I think that's your answer. Get a 300 size bait caster, and you should be good. Yeah. So Salty, where you going? You gonna play hooky on the Spotty Bowl and go out to La Jolla and get after those yellowtail? So we got Spotty Bowl this weekend. The losers bracket. So all us losers out there, pathetic, disgusting losers that we are, the shameful no trophy losers. But yeah, there's so the losers brackets out there, battling for 6th to 8th place, 5th to 8th place. I mean, I don't know what's the difference between 5th and 8th place. To me, nothing. So do I go out there and fish? Do I give it my best? Are you guys gonna fish it, or should I just take the 8th place spot and go out to La Jolla and try to get on some yellowtail? I really want a La Jolla yellowtail this year. Got to go get some squid. Eric's a proud loser. I know you'll be out there, Eric. You don't like going out there with La Jolla. Gonna go to La Jolla to go out there while they're getting around. Yeah. I mean, the bite is so good. It's like, do I fish at Mission Bay where I don't really like fishing anyways? We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see what happens. Saltwater Slayer says Eric. I won't ask my dad. Be busy. When are you going, Salty? If I go, I'm gonna go. So Oscar, probably Saturday. I think Salty too. Usually we go Saturday. That seems to be everybody's fishing day. And squid. So guys, I recommend bring squid. We can make bait out there. You can catch squid too. I think I've never caught live squid. It's my understanding you can just sabiki live squid. I think you go deeper, and there's certain areas where they live. So you can sabiki live squid, as somebody was telling me that, which I thought was interesting. So, but if not, like I said, Dave Rage, he caught one on dead squid. But I would say bring squid. Bring squid. If the squid's not there, he said get squid from the Asian markets. Yeah, that's a Coach Worf special right there. I guess it's fresher. It's good stuff. So like it's my understanding that the squid is like, because if you get it from Walmart and stuff, it's like been frozen for a long time, and they say it's bad because it's just old and frozen. You don't know if it's been there for like a year, 2 years in the freezer. But the Asian market stuff, it's fresh. You know, it was caught just a couple days ago. So that's good advice, Dave. They hit the swim baits from time to time. Yeah, I mean they'll hit everything, right? We know that like the mackerel and the live bait is usually the way to go. What is it? The Nomad DTX is also any of those, like those deep swimming, hard baits, stick baits, swim baits. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll eat everything. But just like the bluefin and the yellowtail now, it's like they get into this, they start biting a certain thing and they get into a routine. And I think squid is, from my understanding, the best bet right now. Everybody I've been seeing in the forums, SD Fish, on Discord, YouTube, it's like squid. So if you can get squid and it's not gonna be a hassle for you, I would say bring squid. I don't think it's that much work to give yourself the best chance, because we can get everything else out there, right? We've all got lures, so that's not a problem. We could all catch mackerel. That's not really a problem. But when you're out there without squid, you can catch your own, but I think it's a little tougher. I think you got to know where the squid beds are. You got to know specifically where to go, and then sabiki them down. So yeah, Salty, I think I might join you out there. Didn't have time to get some from the tackle store. I'm gonna try to stop some live squid when I get out there, and only use it as backup. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Try to get the live stuff. Live's always the best. Definitely. But I got a ton of frozen squid because I make my fish frosting sauce. So it's like I've got packs and packs and packs of that stuff just frozen. So it's not the Asian market stuff. It's the packed, probably 10-year-old squid. Guys, we're almost there. Almost to fishing. A couple more days. Yeah, so as far as Spotty Bowl goes, you guys sign up. The 28th, Saturday the 28th is when they're having the finale. And then they're having, I can't be there, unfortunately. I wish I would. If I didn't have a trip coming up, I would have been there 100% with everybody. But what I can do, I can donate some stuff. So for the raffle and everything else, I'm going to donate some fish frostings. I think I'm going to do a squid and a shrimp, some stickers. And then he just came in today. I'm going to put up one of these. Striving for a black belt in fishing. The color's kind of off, but submission fishing shirts. So those came in. If you guys are interested on those, I'm going to donate one of those, and then like a little care package. So Eric, let me know what you want me to do with those. If you just want me to ship it to you. I don't know what size shirt to send. Or should I just give you like a voucher and then they can email me and then I can give them whatever size shirt they want? That might be best. I mean, we all know you wear an extra small, but I only have so many of those. So in case you win, yeah, because then we can send it right to the winner. That might be the way to go. So I got extra small all the way up to double X. Yeah, so we got I don't know it's up to you guys, Eric and the organizers of the event. However you guys want to do it. If you want to do a raffle, you want to give it away for casting, whatever, I'll let you guys decide. So it's just trying to help out. So buy some tickets. I know that just to help cover the costs. Even though I can't be there, I just want to do my part. Spotty Bowl is a lot of fun. Eric got the 3X shirt. I thought you were extra small. You sure? Time to hit that workout program, Eric. Jessica Muto, Instagram, personal training. Look it up. Leonard, let's look at fish San Diego Bay, right? Everybody wants San Diego Bay, especially the losers, right? We're done with Mission Bay. It's already broken our hearts once. I'm not gonna let it happen again. We'll see. I might go out there, but I feel like La Jolla is calling my name. Yeah, but the shirts
will be up on for sale this week.
It should be up on for sale this week. So if you guys are interested, check it out. Submissionfishing.com. If you guys want to help me out, support the stream, buy some fish frosting. At least that'll help you. Share with a friend. Yeah, and then post it if you guys catch anything, man. That really helps if you guys post a picture of the fish with your catch. Zach Riggs, dude, you're the man. That was a great post. He caught a bunch of fish and with the fish frosting, took pictures with the jar and then put it on social media. That's the stuff that really helps me, that viral marketing. So I really appreciate it. And then it works too, right? Like the fact that you catch it with that and then take the picture, like that's awesome to me. I love being able to make something that helps people catch fish. So that's cool. It's not like, oh, just support the channel because you like me, but I'm trying to sell stuff that is productive and trying to catch us some fish for sure. Don't need losers taking winners fish. Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, we did it all season when we had like those 40-man outings. Everybody's fishing the same waters. I don't think they fish there anyways. I mean, they're both on boats and jet skis. Oh, no, that's not true. Jesse and the double are going to be out there too. Yeah. They don't want us catching those big fish. That stuff is legit. Thanks, Zach. Dude, I appreciate it. Sucks the harbors and Minterra stuck there dead. Come on down, Saltwater Slayer. He's still lost with the fish frosting. Yeah. Dude, that was a rough day, man. That was like my worst. That was my worst outing for sure. Of course, it's in the playoffs, right? It's like just same with Salty. And Salty, there you said you went everywhere, dude. That's crazy. I kind of stayed in like the 2 zones that I knew, like those dock areas and then a little bit in the open, but tons of fish, just nothing big. Talking, I know, look at Eric, dude, talking all that trash. About to give him some real submission, not fishing. That's great. I love you, Eric. Love you and your dry humor and your smack talk. So yeah, you guys sign up 28th. Where can they do that, Eric? I think spottybowl.com, or you can get in contact with Eric Lehman or Roman Castro or the Discord. I don't have the link to get you guys into the Discord, the MMFC Discord. That's where you guys can sign up as well. Get a hold of Roman, but you can get him on YouTube, Instagram, or even Eric here. 11 miles from 6 to 1. Yeah, dude. I mean, you hit it hard. Nothing you can do. We all did the same thing, man. Not even 70 inches either, right? That was like me too. It's such a crappy day. And then Danny, that doesn't help too. Danny destroyed it, dude. Good job, Danny. I mean, not like we lost. I mean, Jesse and Danny, you guys produced. Danny just annihilated. But this is what I said. I don't know if I said it on the show, but I talked to, who was it? I know I was talking to Eric for sure. Maybe via text. And I remember, I think I was talking to Salty and Dario and stuff over comms. But I think this is what you're going to see. The boats and jet skis are really going to win when you have such a short fishing window. Like when you only got that half day, that's a huge difference. I mean, being able to get around on a boat and a jet ski, that's where that advantage really comes in. When you're on a kayak with such limited time, I mean, if you don't choose where you went to the right spot, you can make a move, but you can move maybe one. You can make like one big move maybe. And then, I mean, that's about it. You can't go searching all over the bay like crazy. You just don't have time. It takes you so long to get to point A to point B. When we have the all days, because how many times, the one time I won one of the times I won was like, it was at the end of the day, dude. It was like 5 p.m. on, where I started getting on the big fish, you know. But at that point, I remember in San Diego Bay, I went from where I was at, off the Kellogg launch, and I went all the way to America's Cup, paddled all the way back. It was like it was like 3 or 4 hours by the time I went out there, fished that area, and came back. But then I still had time to fish my initial spot, and was able to win. So I think with the having a boat or jet ski, dude, I think that's going to be the difference in spotty bull for sure. At least with the shorted hours. I don't know how you can. I think shore fishing is at a disadvantage to the kayak, and then kayak to the boat all day. I don't think it matters so much, but with this limited time, I just don't think you can beat a boat or a jet ski. You can cover so much more ground, get so many more casts. I think that's going to be the difference for sure. But anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. It was a great show. Hope you guys liked it. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Everybody, thanks for coming in and joining. Like I said, I'll be out there this weekend, Saturday. Probably go to La Jolla if that changes. I might go be a good sport and do Mission Bay and go be a 5th or 8th place loser. If I'm 8th place, not a big deal. But yeah, the yellowtail bite's so good. Check out my video if you want to when I talked about a lot of the Carlsbad fishing. Check it out. Go see the sea pickle. Go see what I pull up. This like pink mystery creature from the sea. That's the highlight of the video, if you ask Alex. Fun stuff. But yeah, it's great being with you guys. Glad you were here. Thanks for joining. And let's go get our black belts in fishing. And we'll see you next time. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Peace.